she did exist. There really was a girl named Monique Daniels.
Are you recording this?
No.
And yet, but for a few of the people who knew her best,
They never reported her missing.
you'd never know it.
Do you have anything of Monique's?
Nothing.
Did the 15-year-old run away?
She was seen loading her clothes into a pickup truck.
Does she want to be found?
Everybody wants to know what happened. What happened to Monique?
Or is the real truth hiding behind the very darkest of family secrets?
I feel like if I just told them, maybe Monique would still be here.
It's been almost 2 decades since anyone last saw her. 20 years since the oldest of Chuck and Candace Daniels' 6 children disappeared without a trace.
Oh, Jeannie and Nikki are so quiet, aren't they?
But before she became a ghost haunting old home movies, Monique Nikki Daniels was very much a part of her loved ones' lives.
She had tons of friends. Everybody loved her. I can even remember guys in my class crushing on my sister and asking why she was so cute and I wasn't. Things like that.
But Monique was also nursing her own wounds, the kind you can't see, but cut the deepest.
I know that Monique was also really hurting because of the terrible things that had happened already to her as a young girl.
Allegations of abuse too horrific to repeat, all at the hands of the 4 oldest kids' biological father, a now convicted and imprisoned sex offender.
So after this horrible situation with your own father, your mother divorces, you get a new stepdad. Did you think that finally I'm going to get a good, safe, and loving family?
The first time I met Chuck, I remember thinking that finally I'm gonna have a dad that's not gonna hurt me. And I was so happy, and I ran and jumped in his arms and he swung me around. And I felt safe.
But soon after Chuck and Candace married, they had 2 more children. A new family portrait began to develop.
I feel like we looked like a pretty normal family.
Were you?
Not in the least.
Okay.
Both parents were in the military, and according to Angelique, they ran their house like drill sergeants. Not necessarily the best fit for a teenage girl just starting to come into her own.
I know she was just crying out for help. She got pregnant, and it was a big thing in our family, and my parents were very upset about it.
According to Angelique, her sister was forced to terminate the pregnancy. Then one day, not long after that, Monique suddenly wasn't there.
She did run away from home. My parents looked for her every single day. I remember the phone would ring and somebody had seen her and they would jump in their vehicle and go try to chase her down.
But there would be no family reconciliation. Once back home, tensions were at an all-time high, and it seemed to be Monique against everyone else. Just how Chuck wanted it, depending on who you believe.
He made sure to keep us feuding.
Then, just a few weeks before Monique's 16th birthday, Angelique, her oldest brother Brian, and her mom got an opportunity to tour with their church choir.
We were gonna be gone for a week. It was a strange week. It rained, and I remember my mom was really quiet.
After the trip, the 3 returned home to Moore, Oklahoma, back to where nothing would ever be the same.
My stepdad said, "She's gone again." And my mom goes, "Really?" Just like that. And something was off. Something was wrong. The house is in a disarray. Now, we're talking about a spotless environment all the time. There were beer bottles, there were cigarette butts put out on the fireplace mantle. There was an empty pregnancy test, just the box, on the bathroom counter.
But far from being concerned, Angelique says her parents treated Monique's absence like just the next chapter in their gone again, off again relationship.
I remember hearing if Monique wanted to be here, she would be.
Angelique says it wasn't long after the disappearance that Monique's parents seemed to be erasing all traces of her from their lives.
We got new family pictures. Took the old picture down from above the fireplace, put it in the attic, and put the new one up.
A picture without Monique.
Yeah. And after he hung the picture, he sat in his chair and he said, "There you go. It's so much better now. Isn't everything just so tranquil?"
As the months wore on, Angelique says they were forbidden to talk about Monique. But outside of the home, the missing girl's Aunt Leslie, Monique's mom's sister, was growing more concerned.
She called my mom and was asking for the police report number so that she could get Monique in the national database for missing and exploited children. And my mom said, yeah, I'll get that for you.
But that wasn't exactly true, because what Aunt Leslie and the rest of the family were about to find out was that there was no police report.
What do you think of that?
I don't know what to think.
Is it suspicious?
Yeah, it definitely is suspicious.
By then, it had been about 6 months since the girl vanished, a gap in time loved ones feared would make it harder to find her. Then again, was she ever even lost in the first place?
One day, the phone rang. I just said, "Hi, Nikki. How are you?"
Coming up,
She was married and had a baby named Chelsea.
after months of silence, a voice from the abyss.
And she just wanted to drop a line and let Mom know that she was okay. My aunt has contacted the Moore Police Department, wants a handwriting specialist to check the authenticity of the letter because she believed my mom wrote the letters.